is going on today, guys? As you can tell by the title of the video, we are going turbo. You might not be able to tell from the intercooler because some superchargers do have some pretty cool intercoolers, but most of them typically aren't this fat. So first off, we're going to be breaking this down into an entire series, essentially, turboing the FRS. So I think there's a general lack of extremely detailed videos when it comes to putting together these turbo kits. I think it's really to nobody's fault. These things, for the most part, are very, very custom. And when you get down to it and you start trying to install anything on your car, having to film it, having to explain it, or anything like that, easily 2 to 3 times the effort as well as time spent doing it. So I totally understand why most people don't go into the detail, but we're going to do our absolute best to do that on our turbo build. Now that's why this is going to be broken up into essentially a lot of different videos, a lot of different series. And the first one, which we are knocking out today, is the checklist or the pack list, what we got with the turbo kit. We went with the full-blown turbo kit. We're going to go into reasons why we went with this over time. But I think this would be a good video to start with, and also informative for people out there who are wondering what you get with the Stage 1 turbo kit for the FRS or BRZ from full-blown. Alright guys, we are going to go in order. I'm going to do my best to show you, but understand that some of these things I will be keeping slightly under wraps until we get to the install, just because I did get a coating. So the manifold is actually completely under wraps, and I want to keep it in this box just to protect it. But this is an equal length manifold from Full Blown. They make it themselves, so 4:1. It almost is like the Ace headers we have in a sense. As you see, it is already heat protected or heat coated, which means we will not be using heat wrap, at least for the first rendition, and probably as long as this coating lasts. Just so you know, that's generally how you do it. It's either or. You don't heat wrap and heat coat, just for the record if you're wondering. Next up on the list is going to be the downpipe from Full Blown. I'll show you a little bit of the detail here of the coating itself. But as you can see, yeah, I obviously don't want to get that all marred up, but it is a 3-inch downpipe. As you can see here, you also get 3 bungs. So you get your 202 sensors, and then also one more for your AFR. Now next up is going to be the dump tube, and I will give you a little sneak peek once again, but like I said, all the hot parts are coated, and you can see how nice this coating is here. It's done super well, so I'm just gonna keep all the protection, but you get the idea. Dump tube, also powder coated heat, so this will be good for the heat. Yeah, and I'm not gonna unwrap it too much more. They did a great job wrapping this stuff up, so it'd be a shame while we're not installing it just yet for this stuff to get messed up, so I'm just gonna keep it nice and wrapped, but you get the idea. Now the next item on the list is the turbo, but it's not here yet, so let's just take a look at the turbo blanket in its place, which is an option you can get on the list, which I opted for. It looks like it's very, very nice quality. I do not know anything I'm talking about when it comes to turbos, so let me know in the comments if this is nice quality, but from what I see, it's pretty cool. It almost feels like a leather material. I know it's not leather. I like the aesthetics for sure, because when we have all those heat-treated parts, all the black coating, plus this, it's going to be looking pretty gangster. So just imagine the turbo is here, you know, oh my god, a turbo. It's a 2871R. I talked to a bunch of different people about turbo choice, and it just seemed that the 2871R would work out well, so that is what we are going with. Now next up, one of my favorite things so far in the kit, and I once again know nothing about anything turbo related, but all I know is I really like the way these Turbo Smart products look. These wastegates are absolutely beautiful. Once again, black. And the wastegates coming in the kit right now is Turbo Smart's I believe their newest version, which is the Gen 5, and you can tell because it will always have a V in the Gen 5s. This is actually capable of being water cooled, the Wastegate, and it's a 38 millimeter, a 7-pound spring comes stock in it, and you also get provided with a 7-pound base map. So that's only what you're supposed to just get started on. You're not supposed to just drive on that forever. So do keep that in mind, that you still need to tune after all of this is installed. But blow-off valve and Wastegate, really, really cool. So far from what I can tell, it's very, very quality. But once again, I don't know much about turbos. I just know that there were some things that I really liked about this kit. One of them I didn't really go over, but the equal length. I love my equal length headers, the Ace headers. I didn't want to lose that very, very race car sound. And I actually got to drive one of these full-blown kits recently, thanks to my buddy Emil. And like, I just love the way they sound. They sound so freaking race car. And then coupled with the Wastegate noises and the blow-off valve noises, it's just an absolute symphony to hear, and it's so enjoyable. Yeah, can't wait to use all this stuff. Now, next up in the kit, I actually did not know I was going to be getting. I didn't know it came with this, but standard with the Stage 1 kit, you get a 270 LPH fuel pump. I'm not quite sure if that's a unit of measurement for fuel or if that's the model number, not quite sure, so you can tell me. And we also got, oh, something I do know, Bosch 500cc injectors. So 500cc injectors to replace compared to your stock OEM. Now this will be a little bit weird for us because our tuner, from what I've heard, he tunes just on the stock fuel system and can actually get just as much fuel as these parts can essentially provide. I assume the injectors would be like a decent benefit, but I do not know if the pump really adds much benefit for our car unless you go like an entirely different system like the radium system that came out recently. Now we're gonna finish off the full-blown packing list real quick and just kind of go over it. They send you all the clamps required, all the couplers required, so you got a bag of clamps, whole bag of couplers here as well. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but this will make sense in time. We also get the intake piping, which also, just so you know, is wrinkle black. So it's got this black, I'm not sure if this is an actual coating, but it's got a very nice wrinkle black finish to it. So all the piping in the end, if you get the Cerakote option, will be black, super sleek, super good looking. They give you all your hardware for the particular turbo that you choose. Ours is going to be a T3 flange since it's the 2871R. This is going to be the oil drain fittings as well as the oil drain that goes up to the turbo. Over here, these a little bit smaller lines are all of our water fittings. This is our oil feed, which with full blown, they tap into where one of the sensors is, so they give you a T fitting so that your sensor can plug back in, and then you can also go in for your feed for your turbo. So multi-application kind of port there. They also provide you with all the vacuum hose you would need. Keep in mind for our install, just a forewarning, some of these things we will be using. Some of these things we've already upgraded. For example, the vacuum lines and the boost lines, I opted for something pretty cool, very race car, which you guys will see in the future. So you guys saw we got EcuTech a little bit ago. We're not quite tuned on it yet, but that's obviously required. We got Bluetooth with them for free. It comes with the K&N air filters. So K&N base filter, which I really love these because you can wash them, so they're essentially lifetime filters. So wrapping up the list here, the last couple things are kind of insignificant. Our coolant reservoir mounting kit, which is just a couple metal tabs to help you relocate your reservoir because that does, I believe, interfere with the piping. It also comes with 2 slim fans. mounting ties for the fans, which are just the ones that come with it. If you're familiar, the ones that go through your radiator, kind of like a zip tie. So some things that might not come with the kit that I did get, we do have a wideband, 4-bar map sensor, the Ecutech Bluetooth, which I just don't know if that promotion will always be going on. So I just checked the box for it and they gave it to me, luckily enough. The turbo blanket, like I said, not included. So those are the only options that I picked besides the heat wrap. All of this stuff comes with the kit. So it does have everything you could possibly need to turbo. There's some things you might want, like a boost controller and things like that. But bare bones, you can get a turbo car out of this kit, which is pretty cool. So beyond my options, there were 2 more things that I ended up having to get that are absolute must-haves, and you guys are probably wondering why I haven't mentioned it yet. Now we got the JDL oil pan. I really like their oil pan because it is just a stock oil pan with an oil return. The full-blown racing one is really sick. It's really cool, but my buddy was saying there are some downsides to it, like you have a lot more oil in your system, so checking your oil is a little more difficult. I ended up going with this pan just because it was much more simple, and I just didn't feel the need for all the extra oil capacity when we're already running a decently sized oil cooler. So I think in our application, where we're not shooting for 1,000 horsepower here, this will be perfectly fine. And then we also had to get a JDL overpipe or some sort of overpipe. It's just JDL's pipe seemed to be pretty good, and it's a 2.5 inch. And if you guys recall, we have the Ace front pipe on the car, which the Ace front pipe is a 2.5 inch neck to a 3 inch front pipe to a 2.5 neck again. So it's a pretty unique front pipe, the one that we have on the car, and I think it's actually going to help us quite a lot in our turbo application now that we're moving on. Alright guys, that is going to be it for this one. Just wanted to do a quick little rundown of the kit so far, what we have so far, and obviously missing the turbo. We can't quite jump into it as fast as we would like, but I am jumping into things in the meantime, like figuring out different mounting solutions for oil catch can and things like that, which we're going to go really in depth on in the near future. I'm going to be breaking down some pretty key sections to turboing a car, and those are the videos we're going to focus on. So we'll be essentially staged in sections of which ones I think make a good category or a good topic, or maybe it's in a certain part of the engine bay and it makes sense to do certain things together along those lines. So I'm really hoping this ends up being informative. I'm hoping people out there enjoy it, and I hope it just helps demystify some of the things that relate to turboing your car, because there's quite a lot of information out there. Not all of it is complete, so hopefully we can make it just a little bit better, make the world a little bit better, help some people out in the process, and in the end have a car that makes all sorts of crazy, fun, dumb noises and power. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Once again, big thanks to Yamil for letting me drive his car, and also his help in making this decision. He was a huge influence in it, considering he has the kit himself. He has PBM himself. So we just have a lot of things in common with our cars, our application of the cars, since he also drifts his, and it seemed like overall the best possible option, and I'm stoked to kind of jump forward into it. We might do topic videos in the future, like why turbo versus supercharger, but I need to get there first. We need to actually have a turbo car to be able to talk about it. So really hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions on the kit, by all means put it in the comments. I'm really sorry that we're not able to snoop into the the nitty-gritty details of it and really see them up close, but just having the coating on it, I want to protect it for as long as possible till we're actually throwing it on the car. So until then, I will catch you guys later on. I hope you're excited. I'm super excited, and I have a lot of metal cutting to do, so I'm gonna get to it. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.